Welcome to Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
And a very pleasant good evening to you. Welcome in, Home Track Heroes, hanging out with you on a Sunday night. It is Wells Trumbull night, presented by Sparkle Wash here in the house. Caleb Hart, Kyler Hope. Kyler, we got some figure eights coming and a whole heck of a lot more. Should be a fun show. Getting ready. We've got a lot of big shows coming up in the future. But this one's going to be huge if you like going in multiple directions.
Oh, yeah. I mean, the world's most dangerous intersection. How can you not love watching that on TV? And it's better yet, coming to the grandstand to check it out in person. The sights, the smells, the sounds, it's way better in person. But tonight, you have the best seat in your own living room to check it all out here on Seattle 11, and it's going to be a great night of action.
That's right. So kick back, relax, and enjoy, and let's get things up and underway as our first race of the night is going to be our Youth Hornet Division here at the track. Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets are on the track. And 2x2, let's take a look at the starting lineup. Harley Jenkins from Maltby sits on the pole in the 5J. I'd Hit That Motorsports sponsors the car. Mason Blodgett outside of Harley in the 43 out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Allied Motorsports. Your second row, Taylor Thompson in the 4 from Snohomish in the Weather Right Roofing car. And Caleb Williams out of Gold Bar in car number 50.
And starting with, you got Alexis Tubbs in the 23 out of Monroe, sponsored by DL Enterprises. The outside, the 67, Kylie Ann Surian out of Snohomish, sponsored by James Peak Honest Transmission. Final row, you'll see this 32 of Sawyer Holden, sponsored by Weather Right Roofing. And finally, the last car back there with the American flag numbers, it's the 35J of Hawk Jenkins out of Mulby, sponsored by I'd Hit That Motorsports. As possibly getting the one to go this time by Youth Hornets. Such a fun division here. I mean, most kids across the country at this age, they're not driving stick shift cars around a racetrack, especially full-size cars like this. It is awesome seeing these 12 to 14-year-olds out here battling it out. And like I said, full-size cars. It's an awesome division here at Evergreen Speedway.
Yeah, you hit that. 12 to 14-year-olds here, Kyler. It should be a bunch of fun within the division. The Jenkins up front, the Jenkins at the back. This class, the Nelson Motorsports Youth Hornets, we don't keep points in this division at all. This is all for trophies and glory. And look out, Harley Jenkins. That is suboptimal.
Yeah,
at best.
Not good when you're wrecking before the start-finish line. Thankfully, we weren't really at full speed yet there, so we'll be able to see both these cars drive away here. So we're going to hop on board with the beautiful-looking car of Kylie and Syrian, and yeah, just able to avoid it. Barely good heads-up driving there to not make that worse for the cars in front.
You see, there's where the fishtail starts on the Jenkins car, and yeah, nowhere to go as it goes right up into the fence, and Blodgett following right in. Here's from Hawk Jenkins' point of view, and all of a sudden, oh, yeah, that's not good. It's very bad.
Hard on the brakes. It was a good job not completely stalling out the car. As look from our turn 1 camera, yeah, just getting jacked up right away and then into the outside wall. Like I said, we weren't at full speed yet, so able to avoid a hard collision there.
Right.
I mean, they should all be able to continue at least.
Yeah, you would hope so. Find out, because back at her in just a couple of seconds here. Line up, we had 8 originally, and now we are down to 7. It looks like Harley Jenkins will not keep going. Make that Taylor Thompson in the 4 had a whole lot of front bumper action to begin with on the front. And we will get up and rolling, and green flag once again coming off the corner. And this time, all 7 make it through.
Yeah, and this week we're just on the normal course, the normal 1/5 oval for the Youth Hornets. We've seen them run the kind of triangle track with the dog leg on the backstretch. This week they are not. There's some normal 5/8 or 1/5, not 5/8. That'd be quite the adventure for these guys on the 5/8.
That'd be a lot of speed for the kids. Our program, by the way, is brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Big thank you to them, as they have been our sponsor all year long here on Home Track Heroes. We'll dual box here. Kylie and Surian on the right-hand side, and battle from like 3, 4, and 5 on back. Tubbs out in front of that with Jenkins and the 50 of Caleb Williams all battling in there for the 3rd spot. That's on the left-hand side of your screen.
Got some great racing here. A little bit towards the back of the pack. Up front, it's Mason Blodgett, Taylor Thompson. Not really any pressure there. And then Alexis Tubbs was hanging out for 3rd, able to kind of get a little bit of a gap between themselves and Hawk Jenkins there. As you see the 35 starting to pick up some ground now as they're side by side right behind that. Kylie Ann Surian still really with nowhere to go, just trying to stay patient, wait for a hold up there. She goes down to the inside of the 59, it looks like.
Not a whole lot of time out there. She'll dart to the inside of Williams, pick up the spot. Now Jenkins trying to roll around the outside of the 23 of Tubbs. Tubbs has a decent little run here on Taylor Thompson. They're going to stack up getting into the first corner.
Yeah, it's really tricky with these cars, trying to keep your momentum up, running the inside-outside line, and some of these drivers aren't necessarily, they're all still learning. Oh, Hawk Jenkins getting a little bit of tag there, and Still going sideways, now facing the wrong way. There's look like a little bit of heavy left front damage on that tire. Just couldn't get a little cockeyed there, but hopefully be able to continue on, as he was definitely the fastest car in the track right there, moving forward pretty quickly.
All right, so Surian got involved as well. As you can see, chain reaction started with Tubbs in the 23. Jenkins around the 35 and collects up the 67. Here is from the front viewpoint. Yeah, Surian absolutely nowhere to go.
Yeah, trying to get him race hard, and got a nice little tap there from the 50 as well, as Caleb Williams had nowhere to go once again. Got some more front end damage there, but should be able to continue as well. As you see that left front taking a big beating there on Hawk Jenkins' car. Hopefully not too bad though, and hopefully maybe we'll just watch him come back from the back of the pack again.
Oh, there's Hawk's end of it. Yep, around with a whole lot of race car just hanging out there. So big thank you as well to Brandy and Saxon and Ashley for rigging up the in-car cameras for us, the GoPros and whatever they're using, as that helps bring you the enjoyment here on Home Track Heroes. Let's soldier on. We got 5 down. We got 15 left. Top 2 is still Mason Blodgett, Taylor Thompson, and now Sawyer Holden will restart in position number 3 as we're up and underway.
Yeah, it looks like we're now down to 6 cars. Looks like Hawk Jenkins was not able to make it back out. I'm guessing too much damage right on that left front. Took a couple big hits there to that left front tire, but got a great battle here, as Thompson's going to be the big winner, or Sawyer Holden, I believe, on the outside right there in the 32, going to be the big winner of all that debacle that we saw before the caution came out.
Yeah,
and now we're up to second place.
It was debacle-y. Yeah, I'll give you that. Already, Kylie Ansurian is working her way back up, trying to make a podium run. She's going to sneak away 3rd. So it's Blodgett, your leader, in the 43. Holden ducking to the outside in the Porsche. It's the green with white number 32. And Holden, sorry, not Holden, Surian, there we go, the 67, sits in position number 3.
We're going to go back on board with Surian right now, as a great little double box action here on the battle for second place. Kylie just trying to be a little patient here. Still got about 12 laps to go in the race, so not quite halfway done yet, as still a decent amount of time left, but you also don't want to let the leaders pull away from you, so you want to stay nice and tight in this battle. Maybe wait for one of the 2 drivers in front to make a mistake and try to capitalize on that here. It's a really tight battle up here for the race lead. This is the first time Mason Blodgett's really had some tight competition, as there goes Sawyer Holden down the inside in the 32.
Yeah, amongst the tires squealing in and around. Holden now picking it up, and he has got the top spot. Blodgett's going to try to hang on to second, but Surian in her second car of the year, by the way. We had heard that car number 2 was on its way out. Now going door panel to door panel with Blodgett, and takes over the second spot.
Yeah, it's a great looking car there. The white with the teal and the orange numbers, the orange accents on it, looks great. Is able to work their way up in the second place now. Kylie sets her sights on Sawyer Holden in the first position to try to hunt down and try to get that race win, with about 9 coming up on 8 laps to go here.
Alexis Tubbs up on the back of the 43 of Blodgett. Those 2 bumper to bumper. Blodgett trying to get low to close, and you can see Tubbs had to hiccup the throttle for a second to avoid going big time collision into the back bumper cover. This time she'll make a deeper run, going the 3rd turn. Not quite all the way there. So Blodgett's going to keep holding on to it, but Tubbs making life difficult on the battle for 3rd.
Yeah, a great battle here for the final podium position here in the Youth Hornets tonight, as a few drivers right there might be able to capitalize on this battle if there ends up being a little bit of contact here. I believe Williams was right there in about 5th, and there's also the 4 car by Taylor Thompson right there waiting for a mistake as well. So really, that final podium position is up for any of these 4 drivers here in the back half of the field, as first and second place really have a comfortable gap for right now.
Let's see if Tubbs can get a little further up. She's got the nose to the number now. Blodgett flinches. That'll cost him some space, and Tubbs has got 3rd coming off the corner.
Yeah, we'll see what Thompson's able to do there in the white 4 car, white and purple 4 car. Is right behind that battle. Should see if they're able to make any sort of ground up here in that 3rd and 4th position. Does not quite look like it yet. Sawyer Holden still up to a comfortable lead, not missing anything up front there in the 32. Kylie Ansurian in the 67 comfortably in 2nd as well. And this battle for 3rd, I don't think it's done yet with 4 laps to go here.
No, I don't think so either. Blodgett and Thompson stick it close enough to Tubbs that if Lexus makes a mistake, they will be right there. Short field here in the game 8 tonight, so not likely to see heavy lap traffic over these final 3 laps for Holden or Surian, much less Tubbs, who are further back. And there's the better look at the course, and the entirety of it is right now, long ways to go for Sawyer to catch slower traffic with just 2 times more remaining.
Yeah, right here looks like the best battle on track for the 4th position. This is just outside of the podium, as Thompson's putting a little bit of pressure there on Mason Blodgett, who started the outside of the front row, but Up front, it's all Sawyer Holden in the 32 Porsche.
Yep, this one is all him. Bring the Hero sports car to victory lane. Takes a very wide berth into 3 and keeps all of his speed off of 4 as Sawyer Holden will pick up the victory. Congratulations to him. Kylie Ann Surrey in position number 2 and Lexus Tubbs holds on for position number 3. To the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium.
All right, third place. I believe today's your birthday, correct? So everyone want to wish Alexis a happy birthday. So third place on your birthday, that's got to feel pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Good run today. What more do you think you needed to catch those front 2?
More time.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
DL Enterprises, my mom, my dad, my grandma, and grandpa.
All right, let's give it up. Third place tonight. Happy birthday to Alexis Tubbs. Kylie, second place, recovered after some contact. Just walk me through that race in general.
It was crazy. It sucks because we just got the car painted and then everything was great. And my car kept going into limp mode. I had to shut it off in the corners, and during the red when me and Hawk got tangled up, my car would not start. I was like, I'm done. And then the push truck came and I'm like, oh well, I'll bump started it. And the race went on.
You were able to keep it out there. Who do you want to thank for helping you get out here to second place?
I didn't make a cheat sheet. I'd like to thank Waltz Woodco, J2 Racing, Brandy Hood Promotions. I don't give you enough shout outs. Thank you for the decals and all the camera footage. You do an amazing job. Thank you Chip Happens, Reppin' Welding and Rail for my bumpers. Hopefully my car's okay. Higher Standard Construction, Honest Transmission last night. Thank you so much. Simply Rocks, Napa and Darrington, Aaron and Ron Pye for helping tune my car, McCarthy Electric, Jared Alesh Schwab, and all the fans, all my family, my dad, and Cole Raridan especially, even though you kind of messed up my hood, but it's fine, I guess. And just everyone is like, if we didn't have any of you guys here, this would not happen, and I'm just so honored.
Let's give it up. Second place tonight, Kylie Ann Surrey. Sawyer, picking up the win tonight. You guys had kind of a tangle, kind of a tough start there right at the end. Walk me through, do you have a mindset change usually when something like that happens?
I mean, after that, you just have to be smooth and stay in front, don't make any mistakes.
And you had seemed to have that car on rails. What does it take to get your car out here week in, week out?
My Nana and Papa, my mom and dad, and I'd like to thank my friend Jacob Badgley.
All right, your race winner, give it up, Sawyer Holden.
Welcome back to Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Caleb Hart, Kyler Hope with you. First trip of the night down to the figure 8. We'll go there 3 times in total, and this time for the 4-cylinder cars, as it's the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Stinger 8s on racetrack. Devin Jenkins, front row of this one, with Jacob Funk next to him. Jenkins out of Maltby, sponsored by PNW Traffic Control, and Funk out of Marysville, sponsored by JBR. Second row, the 151 of Cody Weldon out of Arlington, sponsored by Outlaw Roofing, and the 85 of Hunter Jenkins out of Monroe in the I'd Hit That Motorsports car.
Then in the next row, you got the 73 of Derek Myers out of Arlington, sponsored by Bulldog Haven Northwest. He's outside 46 Mike Hathaway out of Marysville, sponsored by Reppin' Welding and Rail. Next row, you see the 43 of Damon Claiborne out of Snohomish, sponsored by Kia of Everett. His outside, that's the 16 Peyton Hop out of Snohomish, sponsored by Cut Shop of Woodinville.
A lot of champions in the next couple of rows. Starting 9th, Matt Somerville out of Monroe, Airport Welding and Muffler in the 21. And to his outside, the other former Buzz Inn Stinger 8 champion, Brandon Lindbergh. Running for Riley Riddell. Happy graduation, Riley. He's in the DL Enterprises number 20. Cody Hoops, the former champ in the 10 out of Marysville, sponsored by JBR. He'll go off 11th. 12th, the 102 of Randy Moffitt out of Everett, the B&R drywall car. 13th and final starter, Diesel Snyder, the 717 out of Cleellum, sponsored by Handy in the Valley. The only man in Home Track Heroes history to win 3 main events in one night.
One night, that's impressive.
Impressive.
That is very impressive.
He did good work that night. Drier conditions tonight, so Diesel Snyder not in quite as familiar territory where he is so good in the wet weather. Our program here, Home Track Heroes, brought to you by All Ply Roofing, and the green flag is out. We're underway with the Stinger 8A main for 40 times around.
Yeah, a little bit extra laps for these guys, so expect extra chaos inside that intersection as it's going to heat up very quickly with 13 cars out there. It's going to be an awesome night of action here on Evergreen Speedway, as it is already 3-4 wide around the North Pole right here.
Yeah, things got tight going into the north, but they all make their way through. We are staying clean and green, and Devin Jenkins has got your early lead in the 195. Now they're 4 wide going around the South Pole. Damon Claiborne trying to find some room to run out there. You see the 151 of Cody Weldon getting involved. Now if you're on the wide side of the 4 wide, you're on the inside of the 3 wide, at least coming back in the north. So Claiborne making some room, as boy, it is just absolutely a swarm of these cars out there right now.
Yeah, looks like that's Hunter Jenkins right there in the 85, that green car. Looks like might have got a little bit loose coming around the North Pole around the start finish line last time by, and kind of held up this big group of cars. This one car's going to shove out there. That's the 8 of Jacob Funk, your outside pole sitter. Got shuffled way out, going to lose a lot of positions. It's hard when it's a big pack like that and you get moved out of line, because they're just going to freight train right by you, and you got no hopes getting back in line right there.
You're trying to create enough separation. That way you can go to the inside of each corner. It's just been darn near impossible here so far, as they're 3 wide again. Diesel Snyder trying to push the extreme outside groove there on the 20 of Lindbergh, who was side by side with Hathaway. Lindbergh doing a nice job of moving up at the 20 car, substituting tonight as our first look at the dual box. And Cody Hoops now in the 10 car. He is on the right side of your screen. You'll go live in car with him.
Yeah, I'm not sure if this is the same car that Cody flipped a few years ago at one of the Enduros, but always good to see Cody Hoops back out here, running very well. Always one of our strongest competitors out here on the Stinger, with the Stinger 8s as well as the Hornets. He's got a car sideways right in front of us, Jenkins, we talked about earlier. He's going to squeak by to the inside, avoid that Uke tire, keep going. We got 2 cars hooked up there on the other side. That was Hathaway, and it looked like Somerville as well.
Meanwhile, lead changes happen. Myers has snuck by on the left-hand side of your screen. So Myers is up ahead of Jenkins 1 and 2, and he's hoping this thing stays green, because that'll secure his lead. He is already distancing himself quite nicely from the rest of the field.
Yeah, looking really good up there in that 73, as they're still hooked together, Hathaway and Somerville. We'll see if this is going to bring out a yellow. There we go. Yep, finally yellow flag comes out for these two, as they're trying to get themselves unhooked for a minute there and then got back out on track. And yeah, this isn't chain racing. I know we used to do chain racing here at Evergreen Speedway. This is not one of those cases. We'll get them some help out there, see if they can get them unhooked.
Right. Well, the 21 and the 46 going together like peanut butter and jelly. Unfortunately, they kind of wanted to be solo sandwiches here. As let's get a look in the corner and up, and you can see what happened. That big old CalGuard rear bumper on the Somerville car is just kind of hooked inside the bodywork of the Hathaway right front corner. Second look, more of the flat angle on it. So we'll see if we can get a third view of exactly how. It'd be fun if we had a GoPro mounted off the back of Somerville, right? Right? I don't know. All right, so here's from this angle, and yeah, try as they might, they're going to have to go get the heavier equipment to get those two untangled and back to good to go. So we will do that. We'll give them a couple of seconds.
Did you ever come out here when we're doing chain racing? Do you remember those days?
A little beyond me.
A little bit.
I
yeah.
understand the idea behind it.
They still do that at Bowman Gray, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, that's got to be frightening.
Yeah, the House of Chaos still does that. But yeah, we used to do it as figure 8s. Yeah, that was some crazy stuff here. But anyways, still only 6 laps complete. All that chaos was packed into 6 laps. We still have 34 more here to go. You're not going to want to go anywhere, as green flag is back out. Derek Myers still up front. The Delaware double foul restart. Going to check out a little bit and just try to get that lead back that he had, because he had quite a comfortable lead, like you said. Did not want to see that caution, but everyone else now all bunched up there. Look at the 717 Diesel Snyder, started way in the back, already up to now 3rd position. What an impressive run for that young man right now.
3 wide with Hoops and Lindbergh getting past the 195 of Jenkins. I swear Peyton Hobbs 16 car looks like a Geo Metro or a Toyota Tercel or something. Goodness, that thing's, I mean, it's functionally racing well. It's just ugly, and that's okay, Peyton. It's okay.
I love it. I'm here for it.
We should tell you guys, while you take a look at this, that our segment's brought to you by Buzz Inn Steakhouse. For a great deal and a great meal, Buzz Inn Steakhouse, your best choice. Buzz Inn Steakhouse, the proud sponsor of the Stinger 8 Figure 8 division.
I'm really excited to go back there this week when I'm back visiting. We don't have these in North Carolina, so being able to come back here and go to Buzz Inn, it's always the best.
How are you supposed to get the Bigfoot chicken fried steak if you don't have a Buzz Inn?
Yeah, that's why I'm back here. I didn't come back for the race. I came back for Buzz Inn Steakhouse.
Good choice. Out front and battling up in your top 3 right now, Diesel Snyder has taken the Stinger 8 racing to like a fish to water here. They're going to work their way inside a hop. It is Snyder bringing Hoops with him as we're still beyond half, or just before halfway. In fact, only 10 in and 30 to go, and Diesel Snyder's worked his way from dead last up into second.
Yep, and now Derek Myers has to deal with intersection traffic. So the most dangerous intersection on the planet's about to really heat up here for your race leader, as Cody Hoops, Diesel Snyder, second and third place right now, working their way forward very quickly. A little bit of the bumper guard hanging off of Diesel Snyder. No harm, no foul there. You know, it's plastic. You can replace those.
That's right. As you're taking a look, Snyder now Hoops goes to the outside. He's going to try to sneak up and around Snyder. He was using the front bumper going into the South Pole. Backs off of him. Look out, Cody Weldon. We know he doesn't lift. As Snyder barely sneaks by Weldon, with Hoops unable to take advantage of it. Splitting the difference between Jenkins and the 85, and here comes Lindbergh in the 20 and Hop in the 16, trying to take advantage of that.
Yeah, when the intersection gets dicey like this, just like that, you see the 85 having to slam on his brakes. When you just got a line of cars in front of you like that, you got nowhere to go. There's your race leader, Derek Myers, getting collected. Diesel Snyder slams on the brakes, able to hang on to the race lead. Now that was a lap car that Myers got connected with, as he's able to get it pointed back in the right direction. Going to lose about 6 positions there. New race leader, Diesel Snyder, as Cody Hoops is now going right there. Here's the replay of the intersection. Lucky no one was trying to come across right there. Cam Op trying to stay safe, as you get another replay there on the right side, live action on your left. Wow, that's a little closer comfort for Diesel Snyder right there. But regardless, 13 laps, he's in the race lead from dead last.
Yeah, second to that. Good for Myers that he didn't lose more spots, as you can see the contact once again on our replay on the right-hand side. Now, hey, we're live. Look out, intersection's hot. Here comes Hoops, swoop into the outside, trying to work his way past to the North Pole. He's tried this a couple of times, but hasn't been able to do it. Looking to try to pin the 717 of Snyder in a bad spot as they come into slower traffic.
Yeah, Cody Hoops, being the veteran that he is, definitely knows he has a long race here. He does want to have control of the race eventually, but also knows he does not need to be pushing too hard right now and do anything that's going to cost both of their races, as they got 2 lap cars right in front of them right now. Intersection's relatively clear, so they don't have to focus on that right now, as it's going to heat up eventually, as the cars behind them definitely have to worry about that, as we saw a car flash in front of, I think that was your 4th place driver, Peyton Hopp. So some great race and great action all the way around the track for the race leaders right now. They're just trying to get around these lap cars, and then Cody Hoops can get back to put some pressure on Diesel Snyder, who's your race leader.
Damon Claiborne up into your top 5 at the moment, as just saw Hoops try to shoot past the slower car. There's Claiborne in the 43, Hop to his outside, and also working his way through Somerville. No, Somerville is back further than that, so he may have fell down a lap in his hooked up with Hathaway exchange.
Yeah, I think they were stopped at the South Pole for about a lap or half a lap, so they might have lost one during all that. So hopefully they'll be able to try to get it back here, drive through the field and get it back. But either way, it caught up in some heavy lap traffic right now, so they go 3 wide back in the back.
Yeah, you saw Somerville right on the back bumper of the 85 of Jenkins, and the man with the world's largest head, Randy Moffitt, ends up trying to pick up a spot in the exchange. Can't quite do it. He is stuck behind that pack of 3 trying to come through. It is fast and furious out here, and there is traffic all over the place. It seems like we've had drivers side by side for the entirety of this 40-lap main event. Just now, hitting halfway, and there's Peyton Hopp just grinding up against the 85 of Jenkins to get by. Meanwhile, for the lead, coming off the South Pole.
Yeah, Cody was able to get around that lap traffic and put some pressure now on the back of Diesel Snyder, as they have another lap car, Hathaway, to deal with right in front of them, as the intersection will also be very busy for these drivers when they come around the North Pole right here. As there you see it, he had to slam on the brakes, get around Hathaway. It's going to open up the inside for Cody Hoops around the South Pole. See what he's able to do coming back towards the intersection with a line of cars not that far in front of them. As Diesel has to slam on the brakes.
Snyder made the wrong choice there, as Hoops is going to get around him and take the lead over just over the halfway point. Now Hoops has got some room to get going, as Hathaway almost loops it into the middle. That is the 20 of Lindbergh, who's in 3rd and really working over the back bumper of the 195 of Jenkins. Jenkins getting everything he can, and Jenkins squares off. It's Jenkins on Jenkins. Violence only seen in the state of Washington in the figure 8 intersection, as the 2 Jenkinses just made the July 4th picnic a little more awkward.
Yeah, that was some big Jenkins on Jenkins action right there. But looks like he's able to get out of the car. On board right here. Oh, that's a tough hit. Oh, jeez.
And the bad thing is they're both going to be fixing each other's race cars. As let's get another look. Man, almost right in the numbers.
Props to Hunter, though. Hunter in the green car, able to keep it rolling after that. Takes a massive hit right there, and then just stands on the gas, gets it rolling right in the right direction. I mean, that rear end's got to be hurting a little bit, you'd think.
But if everything isn't hurting at this point in time, I wouldn't know why Devin Jenkins right into Hunter Jenkins. And if you ever wonder what splat looks like in a race car.
Great shot.
Yeah, no kidding. What a wreck.
I mean, do you think Leroy Jenkins was being shouted? Was that what's happening, or is that not quite?
I think it would fit the Jenkins motif.
It's got to, right?
It works for me. So Leroy Jenkins back to work as we are now less a couple of race cars. Only 9 of them left. We started with 13 and 17 laps to go. Cody Hoops out in the front of this. It is the 20 of Lindbergh, and that is for position. Out in front of this, the 717 of Snyder. Look at them swap some decals. Out in front of the field, Hoops getting away, and Snyder's got second once again.
Looks like Myers rejoined the field there, so we are up to down 10 cars on track. So still definitely going to have plenty of action in the intersection here with 16 laps to go. As a great battle there between Damon Claiborne and the 20 of Lindbergh as he gets spun into the Uke tire. Uke tire came flying out of nowhere. Looks like might bring out another caution. Looks like possibly some fluid leaking out of the front of that car. Yep, definitely. So another caution coming out there. As yep, there's the yellow flag as you see on your screen.
Split a radiator hose or worse. Every race here at Home Track Heroes, poor innocent Uke tire takes a beating for absolutely no reason. As we take a look, there goes Lindbergh around again, and that means top 3 is going to look a little different once again here.
Yeah, just going for the same piece of real estate, trying to get into that south corner, and just just get squeezed there. I mean, it's really on both drivers. It's hard to put blame on either one of them. You think Lindbergh's going to say he had the position there kind of going in. As you can see, they're leaning on each other a little bit hard. But, hey, we still got plenty of racing action here on Seattle 11. Do not go anywhere. You won't want to miss it.
Home Track Heroes Soldiers on here on Seattle 11. Thanks for letting us entertain you here on a Sunday night. He's Skylar Hope. I'm Caleb Hart. On track, the Buzz in Steakhouse Stinger 8. We're over halfway through their main. It has already been chaotic. Race leader is Cody Hoops. Diesel Snyder, the 717, is second. And Damon Claiborne, the multi-blue colored 43, is third. Our program today brought to you by the guys at All Ply Roofing. Kyler, top 3 kind of breaking away. In fact, leader breaking away. Hottest battle right now is for second, where Snyder being pursued by Claiborne.
Yeah, Damon Claiborne been doing a great job trying to keep his nose clean the best that he can, working through the field as well. Also started pretty deep in the pack as he's now able to work his way up to third, putting a little pressure on the youngster of Diesel Snyder as Cody Hoops, the veteran, kind of checking out. Nice couple Sunday night drive right now for him.
Very comfortable, you can tell, out in the front of this field. We'll see how well he manages the race in terms of when he wants to hit traffic and how he wants to attack it. Getting through traffic in front of him, not going to be much of a big deal. You don't think it is traffic in the intersection that's going to come up first and foremost. As Snyder, little loose in the 717. Claiborne trying to use that to keep him within close striking distance, as we will go double screen for your enjoyment.
Yeah, huge shout out again to Brandy Hood Promotions on all their hard work of all the onboards that they do. I mean, they have cameras about every single car, it seems like nowadays. So awesome work for them, giving this great perspective here of trying to see what it's like going through the most dangerous intersection on the planet. As now you see some heavy pressure there from Claiborne, trying to put anything he can on Diesel Snyder, make him make a mistake, and get by for that second spot on the podium.
We routinely have 100-plus cars in the pit area, and they've got 7,226 GoPros.
Is that the count?
It's the ratio's huge. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, they're probably some of the hardest working people on Saturday nights out here.
And Ashley's pregnant. I can't believe she scoots around like that at this point in time. So
it's even more impressive.
Yeah, Caleb Jr. is a beautiful name for a baby, by the way, Ashley. I just wanted you to know that. As they continue running in and through, that is Somerville on the left-hand side, not quite having the night that he was after. Fell down some laps early as he tries to get around Moffitt. Claiborne continuing to push for position on Snyder as the intersection gets a little busier for them. And we got to tell you that this segment is brought to you by APC Auto Spa, the ultimate automotive detail shop. Servicing the greater Snohomish County region, APC Auto Spa takes great pride in their high-end customer experience. From complimentary loaner cars to paint protection and ceramic coatings, APC Auto Spa is your car's best groomer.
Some great perspective here on the onboard from David Claiborne of trying to work through lap traffic, but it's so hard because you get to the inside of the car on one end of the track, but then puts on the outside on the other side of the track. So it's really an art trying to make passes here at the Figure 8 track here at Evergreen Speedway. And still not able to get around Diesel Snyder. Diesel doing a great job. Doesn't look like his car's handling the best so far in this longer run that we've had, but still able to maintain that second spot as Cody Hoops, I think, is nowhere to be seen.
Yeah, not just a great job, but a great job for a kid who doesn't have a whole lot of Stinger 8 experience. He's relatively new to the Figure 8 game. Is Snyder, as Claiborne still trying to find the spot to get in and around him, is down to 7, and soon that ticker will drop down to 6 laps to go. Your leader nowhere in sight, long ways ahead. In fact, if you look from Claiborne's GoPro on the right-hand side, it is almost a half track ahead for Hoops right now as he is midway through the next corner as they're exiting the 1.
Yeah, some side-by-side action right in front of Diesel right here. We'll see what he's able to do. Looks like 151 of Cody Weldon's going to get out of the way. Let them kind of keep battling here 4 seconds. Claiborne's going to go a little bit to the outside here. Not quite a clean line. Going to get loose, actually. Going to open up that gap for the second spot for Diesel Snyder, as he's able to kind of check away a little bit, get a little more comfortable lead over there, third place. Yep, there's your race leader, Cody Hoops. Second place just not going by start-finish line. There's third place going across the screen as well. So a little bit of a comfortable gap for your top 3 right now, but hey, most dangerous intersection on the planet. Anything can happen any second.
Wow, you look at that intersection. It's very tame for Hoops. So there isn't anybody oncoming. He's not on the tail. That's about as clean an intersection as you could hope to have, albeit 36, now 37 laps into this race. He'll have to deal with Jacob Funk coming up in the 8 car, but outside of that, man, there is nobody coming for him. So if he catches the back of the intersection, that's all he's going to have to worry about.
Yeah, it depends. You might catch it pretty quick here if they get to battling pretty hard a little bit towards the back of the pack, which can allow then Diesel Snyder right here to gain some position on him. But with only 2 laps to go, it might be out of the cards for him as Diesel's trying to put it out the way. Another lap down there in the 46. And Claiborne still not out of contention now for that second spot as he's caught back up. And
ooh, there it is.
Yep. One mistake is all it takes.
Hathaway got wide in the corner and pushed, and unfortunately to the outside, Snyder went to try and get around him. So Claiborne's going to sneak second away with 2 to go, make it 1 to go. But the Cody Hoops show has been unbeatable in this one. Cody Hoops, an impressive win in the Buzz Inn Steakhouse Figure 8 division. He will take the W over Claiborne and the 717 of Snyder. Top 3, time to chit-chat with them as we will go trackside, I believe, with Derek and the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort Podium.
Great race out there amongst your various Stingray drivers. Big intersection hit partway through. What's going through your mind as a driver not involved in that when you're gridding up and you see something like that?
Perfect. This is exactly what I need as a restart.
Hey, fair enough. You did a great job out there in that 717, really taking the Stingray competition. How are you feeling as we go into the second half of the season?
It's pretty good. The car's not dialed yet. There's still some kinks left, but that's last lap I got screwed over pretty bad by that 46.
Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
Valley Asphalt, Handy in the Valley, Herink, Snow Falls Credit Union, bus drivers, SC, my mom, my biggest supporter here, my dad for working on it all day for me.
Driver the 717, Diesel Snyder, third place tonight. Lots of things happened in that one. Pretty chaotic race there. Most notably, you had that last lap pass against 717. Walk us through that.
It's just luck, honestly. Diesel was running a really clean race. He was making that car really wide. I wasn't going to get around him without moving him. Yeah, I just got lucky with the lap traffic. Unfortunately, he got caught on the outside, got shoved to the third groove, and just unfortunate that happens sometimes. Them's the breaks of racing. But yeah, he was really good today. Cody Hoops was on a rail today. That car is really fast. I knew coming into the main it was going to be a tall order to compete with him. I was just glad to be back up in the top 3. Car was kind of struggling a little during the day. Yeah, I mean, some races you win, some you don't. So it was fun. It was a good race still.
Who'd you like to thank for getting that 43 here to second?
I want to thank Kia of Everett. If you're looking for a new car or you just need your car service, come see us. GN Northwest, Brandy Hood Promotions does all my vinyl, all my GoPro videos, BSR Racing, Hornets Nest Racing Team, and just all you fans for coming out tonight. We really appreciate you guys being here, and hopefully we put on a good show for you.
Second place tonight, driver the number 43, Damon Claiborne. I know a lot of the time it can be a driver's least favorite question, but it feels necessary to ask. We're at about the halfway point of the season. You're leading points. Do you think this could be number 4?
It could be. I'm trying to not think about it. I'm coming out and just trying to have fun. And you know, I said I wasn't going to run a full season, but every week I come out and it's fun, so I keep showing up. So we'll see what happens.
First driver to win 2 this season in the Stinger 8 class. How are you feeling?
I feel pretty good. That car felt pretty fast tonight. I was pretty excited to be here and have a fast car that you really don't have to work too hard at. So.
And who would you like to thank for taking home the win tonight?
I want to thank John Bender, JBR, Tom Easley, my wife Ariel, Cascade Auto, and all the dads out there celebrating with us this weekend.
Driver of the number 10, Cody Hoops, race winner in the Stinger 8s.
Great race for Cody it was. Congratulations to him and all the rest of the field. Let's move forward. The Northwest Focus Midgets Pavement Series is coming up, or Asphalt Series as the actual name is. Give you a look at the 11 drivers here in this one. Jason Thomas, he is the series points leader, and he has got the pole for this one up in front in 63X. He's right here in Snohomish County base. Chloe Hudson in the 16X, going to be outside row number 1. Second row, it is the 2 out of East Wenatchee, Washington. That is Mike Roberts, and his outside, it is the veteran Marty Rossler in car number 16.
East Wenatchee, I've heard some good people come out of that
Seems
place.
like 1 or 2 guys.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a place to be from.
We like Mike.
Next row, we got the 19C at Dalton Christmas. Is outside the 15B, Kurt Boyle. Next row, you got the 04 Riley Deaver, and the outside the 3B, Brian Hayes.
Final 3 starters, Corey Boyle in the 76, family deal there between the Boyles. Dee Dee Shawley is the 72, and her husband Joe Shawley, Dee Dee's the 27. Her husband Joe is the 72. So, you know, husband and wife going to go to battle there on the back road. Now, this first pavement appearance of the year for the Pavement Midget Series here at Evergreen Speedway. Coming into this one, Jason Thomas with an 11-point lead over Dalton Christmas. Christmas has been the guy picking up all the feature wins here lately. Shawley is Dee Dee version, 3rd in points. Corey Boyle, 4th. Brian Hayes out of Mount Vernon, 5th in point in the 3B. Then Kurt Boyle, Joe Shawley rounding out the first 7 of the cars that are here. So, should be interesting.
Yeah, great field here. It looks like we got 11 cars lined up here for the Focus Midgets. Just enough cars to put on a great show here as it's on the 3/8 mile oval. Beautiful night here for these drivers. I love open wheels. I mean, a little impartial to them. It's always great having them come back here either in sprint car form or midget form. And this night we got the Focus Midgets asphalt version. They always put on a great show. I'm excited for this.
It's a blast. Now, this is not your full WMRA USAC style midget. They have a heavier weight rule. They're 1,140 pounds. And the Focus engine package, 130 to 150 horsepower ballpark. They've got starters, they've got clutches, so they don't take the compression start. You don't need the Cascade Push Truck Association in there and in behind them all the time. Is Jason Thomas. Take off to the early lead in the 63X, and we'll watch everybody else trying to follow him around. That is Hudson in the black and green 16. Marty Rossler, that's Dwayne Swanson's car most of the time, and Marty gonna try to roll the outside, currently sitting 5th, looking for room to get around Dalton Christmas in the 19.
Yeah, and that red car right there, that's the 2 of Mike Roberts. He started inside of the 2nd row, working his way up, trying to take over that 2nd spot. You see them bouncing all around. I love the state of Evergreen Speedway right now. It got repaved with them back in 2016, 2017, around that time. The 3/8 did, and the track now is starting to develop a lot of that character that we love to see in these racetracks. And you see these cars especially right here. They'll be bouncing all around through the corner, trying to get all the power down, shooting onto this front stretch of the 5/8. It's just the track is in perfect state right now for some great racing and contact up front right there.
Careful, Chloe Hudson. You do not want to go front tire over rear tire. That is going to send you in a wreck that takes a long while to recover from. Roberts has worked his way up into second. Mike has the only real pavement car in the field, if that makes any sense. Most of these chassis are dirt chassis. That used to be the way that the rule was spec'd in the series, is that it had to be a dirt chassis that you ran on asphalt. The dirt series is now split, so these are two separate organizations, and Roberts, who has the real dedicated asphalt car within there, is looking really good, trying to nose underneath Thomas as Hudson sitting in third. She's having to defend off from Marty Rosler.
Yeah, great battle here with these top 6 cars. Usually, I mean, look at any of these battles, it's great, very exciting. As there goes Roberts diving down to the inside. The main difference that I see between his chassis and the other ones is it just looks like it's a little bit lower profile.
Yep.
That's like the main visual difference that I'm able to see between the different chassis.
When you're up close to him, it almost feels like he's got a bigger, he's a little bit wider as well. You look at the way that that car is built. Maybe that's a focus. That's a product of the thing being so low profile, but feels like it's a wide body car. Much less might be able to be getting those outside tires just a hair further out. As to the outside, Rosler's going challenging. He's gotten up by Hudson and down to the inside. Dalton Christmas finds some room to run. Christmas has been biding his time, 8 laps in. He's starting to pick his way forward. Look out, Marty!
Big time upside down.
And then right side up.
Really, that car sure looks like it may be able to continue, as that was the 16 Marty Rosler going upside down, as was able to get the car flipped back over fairly quickly. It didn't look like too big a contact there. Right here, just hanging it on the dirt, gets flipped sideways, tags one of the other drivers right there. I believe it's Chloe Hudson, the 16, and gets knocked right backside. Didn't even nudge the camera the wrong way.
That's you know, a rough way to shave a couple inches off the top of the cage, but whatever it takes, right? So another look from around. You're right, that GoPro, that up on the top of the cage look was really wild. Here's from Hudson. She's not going to have anywhere to go. And boy, you look at it, the right front's in a lot better shape on the Hudson car than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, I think the contact was just behind the right front, so it might have missed a lot of the main suspension components there in the right front, and able to continue on, hopefully with no more damage than what it was.
Caught enough of the tire that it didn't necessarily knock shock or coil spring off, and maybe be able to restart. Don't know. Really good battle up front so far in the Northwest Focus Midgets Asphalt Series. And take a look at it. Yeah, no Rosler, no Hudson right now. So there's 9 of them left running. And hey, there you go. She'll catch back up. And with 22 laps left.
And here goes Marty back out on track as well. So all 11 cars still able to continue after that. A little Dale Senior action, flipping, keep it going, right?
Why not? Christmas going to the outside, trying to steal a spot away. I believe that's Boyle that he just yarded his way up and around, and it is. So Christmas picking up the spots, and we will continue on with Dalton Christmas in your top 3 and working on second now. As Roberts just has not left the bottom. He thinks he's got room, or he's waiting for Thomas to make a mistake, and Christmas is lingering now in behind him.
So after a red flag like that, I'm going to kind of put you on the spot here, Caleb.
Sure.
After a red flag like that, where the tires sit a little bit and get a little bit cooler, is that really going to affect how these cars fire off in the next restart, or do they get back up to 10 pretty quick?
So the series doesn't run bleeders, so it can. At the same time, without running a bleeder, you don't have anything bleeding the air off a hot tire, getting it back to where it is. So really, there's a lot of factors going in here. As we just watched Roberts get by Thomas and just watched Christmas as well. Long and the short of it, maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Maybe. Again, without running bleeders, the tire gets hot, the tire grows. As the air in the tire heats up, right, it expands the tire. There's nothing to bleed off the excess pressure. So if they quickly got to it, no, you're not going to notice much change. If they sat for a while and it bled, it'll be closer to where it started the race with, or cooled down, closer to where it started the race with, as opposed to what they were out there running now. Is Chloe Hudson. I thought she was shooting her way off racetrack, but it was more.
Yeah, I think there might have a little bit of smoke coming out of her car.
More under control than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah, a little bit of smoke coming off that machine, so she's going to pull it off, not do any more damage to it. It's a great battle right here for that 3rd position. Looks like it's Jason Thomas. And I can't quite tell. It looks like the 15B, Kurt Boyle right there, putting a little bit of pressure on there, trying to get the final spot on the podium. As it's really cool seeing these cars slide around a lot. I mean, here with the track state I was talking about earlier of Evergreen Speedway right now is a really multi-groove for these cars. You can carry momentum around the outside, let the car hang out a little bit more, use up a little more of that right rear tire, or you can drive a little bit easier on the inside right there and not burn up as much as that right rear.
And of note, this is a hard compound comparatively from what I'm told. These tires are built to last, so you're not heating them up real hard. You're not smoking them off to the point where you're having to replace a tire every week. That can affect how well the tire grabs. Now, Boyle is really showing that, you know, if you've got speed on the outside, that tire will hold you. Thomas trying to come back and make his life way more difficult down around the bottom of the racetrack, but Boyle's showing he can hang around the middle, lean on that right rear, and really use it well as he continues to not only hold that third spot from Thomas, but he is up and working on the outside of Mr. Christmas, trying to pick up that second spot.
Yeah, you said around the money. I was going to say that 19 car, it looks like it's really falling back. Don Christmas fired off really well in that last restart, but now he's falling back to this battle for third place. They're side by side and reeling him in. Just looks like he's hanging that right rear tire out just a little too much.
Well, we're going to find out how it all finishes off. Don't touch that dial. We'll be back with the back half of the Northwest Focus Midget Series main event next on Home Track Heroes. Home Track Heroes continues here on Seattle 11. I am Caleb Barton. He is Kyler Hope. And Kyler, got a really good Northwest Focus Midget Asphalt Series main event going. The red car that's streaking away from everybody is the pride and joy of East Wenatchee. That's right, Mike Roberts is out and taking the lead. 509 represent. 509-884, 509-886, either or. Second, Dalton Christmas. He's got a long ways to run him down. Jason Thomas, that orange car, sits third, and then the Boyle's right in behind him as Didi Shawley trying to move up. Brian Hayes says, not this time.
Just helping him, just getting him straight. That's all they're doing.
Yeah,
just helping another driver out, straighten him back out.
This is the 8th feature of the year, by the way, for the Focus Midgets on the pavement. First 7 of them went green to checkered, no stoppage. So we got the first yellow of the year.
Oh, wow.
Yes. First 3 were won by Christmas. The last 4 have been won by Thomas. So Robert's looking to play the spoiler in this.
Yeah, be a first-time winner of the season for the Asphalt Series. This is the first year that they've been separated as the Asphalt and Dirt Series, I believe.
Is.
Yep.
It is, and it's the first of multiple appearances for the Asphalt Series here at Evergreen Speedways. We will see them on August 2nd for the Rebel Jackson Jr. Memorial.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, these cars always put on a great show. Mark that one on your calendar. Come on out. Watch them in person. And then you can watch them on that next Sunday on right here on Seattle 11 on Home Track Heroes.
Yeah, you can get this sense of speed out of them, but until you're here, you can't tell how fast these cars really are flying around Evergreen Speedway. As low to the ground as they are, they really make some quick lap times. As you're looking at 2, 3, 4, Dalton Christmas, Jason Thomas, who has again won the last 4, and then Kurt Boyle in the 15B.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be a great race right here if Mike Roberts wasn't up front stinking it up, leading the race like he is, as we got our 2 past winners in the series battling for second and third right now, as it has just been a great battle watching these cars slip slide around, which, I mean, this is one of the bigger tracks they go to on the asphalt side of things, being a 3/8 mile. A lot of character to this track, so definitely a different challenge to what they've seen all year as they were bouncing all around, carrying some pretty high speeds, and really having to manage these tires. You said they're a lot harder of compound, but still you got to manage them and make the right set of adjustments for the longer run.
Yeah, and Mike, to a certain extent, is really well set up here because he's a former 360 wing sprint car driver on the pavement. When NSRA was a big thing, he was out with that group a lot and spent a lot of time. He ran Wenatchee's Wing Mod Series as well. As we are down to 2 to go, got to thank All Ply Roofing. They are our show sponsor here on Home Track Heroes. And here to the white flag, got to thank BECU, Boeing Employee Credit Union, believing in people over profit. Discover the BECU difference. BECU, committed to your financial well-being. Check out all the financial program offers at becu.org. BECU, proud sponsor of the NASCAR Mini Stock Class, as the Focus Midget win goes to Mike Roberts.
First-time winner for the season with the Asphalt Series. Dalton Christmas second, Jason Thomas in third. We'll head on down to the Angela Wins podium to talk to your top 3.
All right, third place run tonight for you, Jason. How was the car and how was it racing out there on the 3/8 oval?
It was crap, but did the best I could with it, so that happens.
Tough race there, trying to get around for second. What more do you think you needed?
I just needed a little more rotation in the center. That's it, really.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
UMI Fire Protection, Storm Lake Paving, ABC Hydraulics, my family, and all the fans for coming out and supporting us.
All right, let's give it up. Third place night, driver Jason Thomas. All right, Dalton, good run tonight. What more do you think you need to get to the lead, do you think?
Honestly, just more laps here.
Yeah, tough race, got kind of strung out there after some caution there. When a caution like that comes out, what comes through your mind normally?
Where am I restarting?
Well, you still restarted up towards the front and hung on a second. Who do you want to thank help you get out here?
I'd like to thank the Lester brothers, Triple X, OPC Exclusive, friends, family, all of you fans for coming out and hanging out.
All right, let's give it up. Second place night, Dalton Christmas. All right, Mike, good run tonight. Top step of the podium. Once you got to the lead, you didn't look back. Well, how was the car feeling out there on the big oval?
It was all right. You know, it felt like it ran better when I was chasing Jason down, but you kind of get sloppy once you get in front once in a while and kind of doing stupid things. But, you know, car was good. It's second time driving it. It's pretty new to me. So, funny story, the car actually, I bought it out of Indiana a few years ago and tore it all apart, put it in the house. I had it in my office in the house for a few, and then decided to go racing with these guys because they put on such a fun group, fun show, really level playing field. You know, the motors are sealed and stuff like that. So it comes down to, you know, setup and driver and stuff like that. So I don't have much experience here at all. I ran a Legend here a few times, but first time ever in a midget around this track. So it's a steep learning curve. We're from Wenatchee, so we kind of run around that quarter mile more than anything. Yeah, it was just a great evening, and just glad to be in one piece and roll it in the trailer. That's half the battle sometimes.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get out here?
Well, Roberts Construction, of course. You know, my own company. We're a home builder in Wenatchee, and all my subs. We've got a lot of loyal subcontractors and stuff like that obviously help me keep my business running and let us buy tires and race fuel. So, yeah.
All right, give it up, your race winner tonight, Mike Roberts.
Ooh, you got that good growl out of Ben Iman there. Listen to him. That a kid, Ben. Well, congrats to Mike Roberts in the Northwest Focus Midget Asphalt Series. Moving forward, Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s are on track, and lineup is looking like this for their 40-lapper. It's Rick Jones, the 66, Spanky's Twisted Cartoons, and Jeff Anderson, the 78, out of Snohomish, sponsored by Rugged Radios. Second row, Blaine Manning in the 11, Be Happy Carpet Cleaning. There's the Grizz, Doug Delfell, 5 decades of racing and more, sponsored by PCI in the 01, starting fourth.
I mean, he's always got to be a fan favorite coming out here, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. Next row, we got the 5, Dawson Cox filling in that legendary machine out of Arlington, sponsored by Mary's Towing. His outside, 17X, Rick Yargis out of Stanwood, sponsored by McCarthy General Contractor. Next row, we got the 67, Mackenzie Dietz out of Monroe, sponsored by BECU. Her outside, that's the 43, Sheridan Vincent out of Darrington, sponsored by Siskin Power Equipment.
Your final 4, 369, Tasha Dunn out of Sultan, sponsored by All Ply Roofing. 36, John Carlson, the Bill Fleischacker owned car, sponsored by Papa's Bar. And the final row, Chris Southard, the 76S, he's out of Everett, All Solved Plumbing. And Robert Weldon, Big Bird, in the 63 out of Arlington, also an all-ply roofing sponsored car. So 12 cars, 40 laps in and around, a front row of Jones and Anderson, and a fascinating field. Dawson Cox in the 5 certainly draws a lot of eyeballs. No Quentin Borison, but we know Dawson can motor around.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think Dawson Cox has won in about every class out here at Evergreen Speedway, it seems like.
Yes, sir.
Damn near every single one. So it is going to be exciting watching that 5-car work his way through the field. Well, through the first couple rows here. It's going to be a very exciting race here as green flag is out now for the Monroe Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. That is a interesting way to attack the south corner.
Yeah, well, you know, how do you complete the first lap before everybody else? You turn around halfway through.
There goes Rick Jones. So your pulsator gets pointed back in the right direction, then that's just going to make the intersection heat up even quicker as leading lap number 1. We just talked about him, Dawson Cox in the 5.
Wow.
I think that blue number 5, I think that has been the most winningest super stock figure 8 car of the decade. It's got to be up there with Quinn Borson behind the wheel normally.
Well, if you'll remember correctly, that car switched numbers a few years back. It was a 17, was
Correct,
it not?
yep.
So, I mean, that blue car,
Yep.
yeah, number withstanding. Borson won a bunch in it, then Borson took the year off, and Cowboy was in it. Cowboy won a whole ton, and then Quinton's jumped back into it. And now it's Cox playing substitute, and obviously lots of speed.
Yeah, I think Quentin Borson, he won, was it 5 or 6 straight championships? It was something crazy like that. And reminder, he is one arm. The one-arm bandit does indeed only have one arm. So winning that many championships with one arm in a figure 8 of all things, I mean, it is the most impressive thing. His intersections heat up early. There's already one hit there. The 11 getting collected. It's Blaine Manning, Mackenzie Dietz as well, as I think she may be able to roll on, able to get only just the end of that collision there. I'm not sure who the car was that got tagged, but early on showing how chaotic this intersection can be.
Oh, yeah, and you can see exactly the thought process that led to that. Obviously, you've got the 5 of Cox who said, I can go for it. Well, Manning goes, I'm going to say blind or a little blind as he ducked out from behind Jones in the 66. Said, I'll make this. Let's watch from Dietz. See, watch. Boom. Yeah, so if we get one more view of it, Manning changed lines to try to dart in and around and was kind of right there. He makes line change and just did not see Weldon coming, and that's what led us to where we are.
Exactly, yeah. The lap car right there just plays such a pick on the oncoming traffic, and you just cannot visually see. From the turn 1 camera, we can easily see the cars coming on, but when you're down the trackside and you got that car to your inside and you can't physically see what cars are coming at you, that's the end result right there. That doesn't happen often, but it does happen, and that's the end result.
That subtle look to your left that you're trying to pull off there while still being focused on what you have going, and again, vision obscured for Manning's 11. Taters the front of that one. Although he needed a new hood pin bar anyways, I saw that thing kind of flapping in the breeze, so, you know, there's a good excuse to buy a new hood pin bar, Blaine.
Exactly.
Sorry about the rest of the stuff you didn't intend to buy.
So a couple of these stronger cars, Mackenzie Dietz, Blaine Manning, they're going to be towards the back of the pack now on this restart, but still 37, now 36 laps to go. A lot of race left. As look who's up there already in second place. We were just talking about him, the Grizz.
Look who's behind him too. Between the 2 drivers in second and third, you've got, I don't think Cowboys quite got 50 years yet, but I mean, there is darn near, I'm going to say 8 to 9 decades worth of racing experience in those 2 cars.
Oh, yeah.
Between Doug Delfell and John Cowboy Carlson, who is going to have a nice look to the inside, and he will make the pass on Delfell.
Yeah, that was a great looking machine there, 36. You said it's a fly checker car?
It is a fly checker car, yep.
Yeah, it's a great looking piece there, the 36. He gets into second place cleanly there around Doug Delfell, and now he's going to start putting some pressure on Dawson Cox, trying to hunt down that blue number 5. As intersection's going to start heating up here for your leader already, just about 4 laps into this run. So, I mean, it's going to be a long race for whoever's leading the race. It's always going to be a game of trying to make the quick decision, the best decision, and oftentimes we see it. It's hard to make the right one every single lap, so it's going to be a very exciting 33 laps here as there you see Mackenzie Dietz slam on the brakes to let the first 2 cars go by and then get it fired back up there.
Mackenzie's pretty sharp. She knows long race to go. Don't go a lap down. You're still ahead of the curve as opposed to behind it. Don't need to really put the car at risk right now. Take a look at it. John Carlson has caught up to Dawson Cox. I thought he had quite a bit of pad there going for himself, but it's been a race in a big hurry, and Carlson ready to start putting some pressure on the youngster.
Exactly, and I think Dawson races usually 1 or 2 of these a year. He'll hop inside of a figure 8 car, whether it be a Stinger or a super stock figure 8, but every time he does, he's still very competitive, picks it back up fairly quickly, but we normally see him in a late model traveling around the Northwest running that number 7 Busch Light car.
You will see him at some of the biggest and most important late model races in the Northwest and here at Evergreen Speedway as well, getting ready to take on all of the best coming up as expect to see him at the Summer Showdown coming up in late July. There is Delfell, who's sitting third. Rick Yargis is starting to put some better runs together in the 17, and right now Yargis is in position number 4, trying to track down the Grizz.
Yeah, it looks like Delfell's car is maybe a little tight to the corner, so just can't quite carry as much speed on entry. Right there, you see him have to drift way up. That's where we see a lot of the ground being made up by the 17 of Yargis, and then add in some intersection action as well. It's just going to spice things up for this third and final podium spot here in the Grocery Outlet Superstock Figure 8s. As up front, we got a great battle for the race lead.
Oh yeah, now come on to it, and there is the split view. You've got the up top viewpoint on the left-hand side, and from the front bumper cam, John Carlson has brought the Flyshacker 36 right to within striking distance on the 5 of Dawson Cox. We're 12 laps in and 28 to go. Cox is leaving just enough of the inside open there on the entrance to the corner. We'll see if Carlson can take advantage of it.
Yeah, great perspective here, just really close down to the track, as you also get to see how close these drivers are getting to each other, as well as the sun coming into a factor as well, going around that north corner. So there's so much for these drivers to have to worry about. Dawson has to worry about the pressure from behind him, as well as the intersection like he does right here. Going to slam on the brakes, a little bit of a bumper tag there going through the intersections. They put Mackenzie Dietz a lap down. She might fight a little bit hard for this position to try to stay on the lead lap and catch a caution.
Yeah, doesn't get it right there. She's right alongside, although it was the first lap down. You're still in pretty good condition. Both two get by her, so Cox and the 36 of Carlson continue to march on 15 into this. And Carlson still looking for his opportunity to get by Dawson Cox out front.
Yeah, I mean, both these drivers know it's a long race, still have over halfway remaining in it, so they just got to try to survive, be there at the end, but also you want to stay out front and lead as many laps as you can and have control of the race. So we'll see what Dawson Cox is able to do here with a lot of heavy pressure from the 36 of John Carlson.
Yeah, nothing like controlling your own fate, be the guy that sets the pace on the race. And again, some drivers very, very comfortable being the guy out front and determining when you're going to attack traffic, when you're coming in and through it. Look out, intersection, a mess there. But Cox will make his way through, and some guys are much happier being the trail car in this situation and trying to be the predator, looking for opportunities to get on by.
Yeah, it looks like that's the 43 of Sheridan Vincent making his way back forward. Looks like Yargis might have had a little bit of an issue there. I couldn't quite tell what had happened as the final podium spot possibly getting mixed up there, but yep, Sheridan Vincent now up to third position, so great run from him. He started pretty deep in the pack, I think about 8th position, so he's worked his way forward now. Is a little bit more of a gap now for the 5 car of Dawson Cox filling in for Quentin Borson, as he has a little bit more of a breathing room now over the 36 of John Carlson.
And you can see him insert himself a bit as he came off the south pole. The back end started to kick out, so heavy application to the throttle pedal, and that's when you can tell that the figure 8s are really on it. They make a very controlled lap through the apex of the corner, and where they're monster pedaling, the pedal for the gas is coming off the turn, that's where they're building all their speed down the straightaway. You can tell it by watching the back of the car just kind of step out a hair, right there. If they're really gunning after it, that back end will kind of wash wide, almost as if they're dirt tracking it. We are about halfway through this main. We're going to finish it off when we come back from a break here on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Back we are on Home Track Heroes. Thanks for tuning us in here on Sunday night on Seattle 11. I'm Caleb Hart, joined by Kyler Hope, and on racetrack here is the Superstock Figure 8 division on the track as they're flying around. You get a look at Rick Yargis right now. He is just outside the top 3. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. Kyler, this has been a fun one. The battle up front between Dawson Cox and John Carlson has been good. Those two just picking their way through traffic and trying to make their way through. They've lapped a lot of cars here.
Oh yeah, I think they got up to like about 4th or 5th position already lapped, as Dawson just put on a clinic up front in the Quentin Borson number 5 machine filling in this week. As there he is, John Carlson putting a lot of pressure on the back bumper of that blue number 5. So this battle for the race lead is by no means over, as the intersection, the cars are very spread out throughout the pack, so it might make it a little bit easier for them to try to pick their way through, but also just one wrong judgment, one wrong mistake, and the race could be over. So definitely going to keep an eye on this battle for the race lead here with just 15 laps remaining.
Yeah, 25 in, and these two have been running 1-2 for, I don't know, about 22 of the 25, making 23 of the 26 coming around this time. And Carlson has been about that close, but he's never really rolled into him, laid the bumper to him, and gone, as Cox now getting ready to lap Yargis, who is running in 4th. So that's how far these guys have lapped through the field. As you get a look, Mackenzie Dietz, she's in 6th, and she was one of the first cars to go a lap down, and she is charging through this field of drivers who are also a lap down, as the intersection a little bit hot in behind Mackenzie in the 67.
Yeah, she kind of latched on to those race leaders for a few laps and just followed them through and was able to pick up a lot of ground on the cars in front of her. As like you said, they have up to fourth place lapped already. So she's definitely by no means out of trying to hop up onto a podium position. It could just take one caution for her to get back on the lead lap as well. So you never know what can happen here in the Superstock Figure 8s. So this battle for the race lead is very exciting as there's a little bit of intersection action there, possibly with the 67 Mackenzie Dietz. Is John Carlson, he's been patient all race. He said he hasn't used the front bumper much yet, but with about 12 to come up on 11 laps to go, we might start doing that more and more often.
It's almost like the ticking of a metronome, though, out front. They get in, Carlson will get a little bit closer, Cox will expand, but really this is consistent lap after lap after lap. Dawson is hitting his marks, other than that one snafu we saw a couple of laps ago, and so long as he can handle this traffic, he's in pretty good shape. Now he'll roll up on it, and Carlson's going to close in on him. Battle up front. He will get around Southern. He'll get around Anderson, but Carlson will not. Anderson and Carlson contact. Poor innocent Uchtire gets the wrong end of it here.
No caution out yet.
Yeah, there's Dietz going around Carlson. They're waiting. We're still not getting it.
Oh, starting to roll right there. Flat right rear tires. Have to come to the pits. Flat left rear tire as well. So both rear tires are flat in the 36. Might just pull it up to that south pole as we get a look at the replay here. Just connects with the 78 wheel hops. Oh, got a lot more air than I initially saw in that first angle. And comes in, slams the Uke tire. That's where it cuts the right rear tire. Left rear was cut from the contact. Great cam work there as we get another replay at it.
Man, disappointing there for John Carlson as it's a contact with a lap car that ends up hurting him and hurting the ride, taking him out of contention to win this one. Your race leader now with a legitimate chance to lap the field. As Sheridan Vincent is your second place car, and there he is with 6 to go, and he's 3 car lengths away. We'll watch and see if Cox can go and lap the field here. We'll tell you that you need to visit PRCBD in Arlington for all your CBD products. For people and pets, PRCBD has help for all types of aches and pains, kind of like the one John Carlson will be feeling in his back after getting airborne there. Go to PRCBD.com. Use the promo code RACE.
Yeah, race cars are not supposed to get airborne.
No.
And when they do, it hurts when they land, especially on the hard asphalt right there. That seems to be a pretty common injury when we see cars get up, is when they land. Not a really soft suspension in these cars, so they land pretty hard, hits the chassis on the ground, and can lead to some compression fractures, a lot of back injuries. So hopefully that one wasn't as hard on the Cowboy, and he'll be able to continue to ride another day.
Well, there is the move. The field is officially lapped as Dawson Cox gets around Sheridan Vincent and sits now all alone on the lead lap. Well done, Dawson. That's impressive.
Dominant performance there from him as we're still right on board with Mackenzie Dietz and the BECU number 67 machine right there. As you can see, the great Brandy Promotion sticker right there. Brandy Promotions bringing you all the in-car footage all night long. They do a phenomenal job every week.
Look how clean that cockpit build is on Mackenzie. Like how nice things are laid out and in a relatively smart positioning as far as what she needs to get to. And when you've got the emergency shutoff switch, which is right above the Brandy Hood Promotions sticker, so if you need the kill switch, as we go to the white flag for Dawson, followed up by the fire bottle and then the MSD box, all kind of in quick things, because you do occasionally have to get to the MSD box and work on things real fast. That's a beautiful job by her crew building and laying that car out, as Cox is going to get the win and throws the rear end of that car around with some style. Dietz and Yargis, they're second and third, long ways back, and they'll run their way through and end up taking second and third, albeit a lap down, but they'll do her. So congratulations to those two. Yargis' first podium, if I remember correctly.
He actually came up fourth. Sheridan Vincent was in second.
Oh, he was. My bad. Sorry, the ticker screwed me up. My bad.
Yep, sure. There it is. Sheridan Vincent, second place. Great run for him there in the 43. Kind of burned down a little bit. I mean, hey, get on the podium. Put on extra little bit of show for the fans there. Why not?
And yet, tires are
Great park
cheap.
job. Great park job, too.
Insane. Well, Cox is out of the car. Let's talk to your top 3 with your podium finish.
Mackenzie, I can tell not quite the result you wanted, but still, you fought your way from the back up to the front under green flag. Proud of that?
I'm proud to be on the podium.
You had a hard-fought race there, keeping yourself clean through those final 38. It was impressive, and it looked like you were doing quite well out there. How'd the car feel?
I don't know what happened. I just saw a yellow car go across and Blaine stopped right in front of me, so I'm so sorry, Blaine. I just had nowhere to go. I think Doug Delfell's bumper in the intersection. I don't know if he spun around. I didn't see any smoke, but the car was a handful after that. But I'm happy to be here.
Held on, come home third. Who would you like to thank for that?
I'd like to thank my sponsors, BECU, Rep and Welding and Rail, Two Girls in a Leaf, Brandy Hood Promotions for all the in-car videos, Ghostum Delta Cams, Bickford Ford, Kayak Point Construction, Buzzin' if I didn't say them, and everybody, my crew, and happy Father's Day to all the fathers here. I hope you guys enjoy the race and enjoy the rest of what the night has in store.
Driver the number 67, third place tonight, Mackenzie Dietz. Sheridan, there's still enough tire smoke in the air that I don't feel the need to ask you how you feel about that one. Why, though, does this one mean so much?
I mean, it's been a rough start to the year. Last year we had such a great year. Finished second in points, didn't really wreck too much, tear too much stuff up. This year's been heck, man. It's like every race something happens. I missed the race earlier because I screwed up and hit somebody in the intersection. 100% my fault. So if Guy Litz is listening, yes, it was my fault. Yeah, it's just been heck. So to come back out finally, have a good run. Granted, everybody else kind of fell out, so I was just biding my time. But I know Dawson driving the 5. I know they saved their car, they saved their tires, so I figured I'd do a burnout for him.
You put on a good show out there. Perseverance, the name of the game. Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
Rick Yargis, Rick Jones. They're the only reason it's put back together, because if it wasn't for them, it'd still be sitting in my shop. They came, said, nope, we're fixing it. Took it down to Yargis' shop and rebuilt the whole front end, new bumper, everything down the right side. And my wife, because she literally does everything for us. My grandparents that came up from Las Vegas gave us some money to fix it, so that worked out fantastic.
Driver the number 43, second place tonight, that's Sheridan Vinson. All right, 2 weeks ago, Dawson, you and I were talking. You told me, I want to be known as a pro late driver. I don't want to be known as the figure 8 guy. You're not helping your case, man. You win by a lap in this one. How does it feel to take home the win?
Oh, really good. It's like the icing on the cake for my season. It hasn't been that great, so to be able to come out and actually finish a race is awesome. I really appreciate Mary's Towing for letting me drive it today. I mean, it's a good car. I wasn't sure about it. I didn't jump into it till qualifying, and I'm like, just took me a little bit. By the time I got to the main, I mean, the thing was really good. I don't want to say Sunday driving, but I was pretty much there. I almost lost it once. Mad props to Quentin. He's got one arm, and he makes it look better than I do. So just huge shout out to everybody that got the car here and made it as good as it is. I couldn't have done it without them. So I'm glad we were able to get the car to the end in one piece and at the top. So that's kind of cool.
You stepped into some pretty big shoes there driving that number 5. Also had to compete with some pretty big names. You had Cowboy on your tail for such a long time. How do you do it?
Well, the cool thing is the mirrors were adjusted for Quentin, so I couldn't see who was. I knew he was behind me, but I didn't really know he was behind me, so it wasn't that big of a deal. That's the best way to do it. Otherwise, you're kind of worried the whole race, and it gets stressful. I just knew he was there, but I knew if I did my job, I'd be fine.
Who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
I mean, Mary's Towing, absolutely. They do a lot, and they helped Quentin since they bought it, and they've kept it going, and it's really cool to see what they've done for this class, and huge thanks to them for letting me drive it.
Driver the number 5 tonight, Dawson Cox, race winner!
You know, sometimes, Kyler, the people in the background of the video in victory lane are just as good as the winner.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Sometimes, just saying. Vintage Modifieds are up next. 10 Vintage Mods going around on the 3/8. Love this division. They are one of the coolest looking race cars we have all year here at Evergreen Speedway. Brian Cottrell sits on the pole in the 10 car. You've seen Brian race a whole bunch of different stuff here at Evergreen Speedway over the years. Rick Villiard's going to be next to him in the 12. Second row is Shane Strimple, the 57, sponsored by Aaron's Olympic 4x4 and Switch Electric. And his outside, Jason Quazzo, is in car number 8.
We got a pair of teammates making up the next row. It's the 23, Akil Jeth, his outside. 22, Steve Wood, sponsored by First Day Electric. Next row, we got the 30 of Kyton Jones, sponsored by Benchmark Barrels, his outside. The 82 of Vince Conwell, sponsored by Northwest Concrete Cutting. And rounding out the field, Making the trip across the mountains from Wenatchee, Washington, that's the 25 of RT Greiner. And his outside, that's the 51 of Todd McCartney, sponsored by Streamline Auto Body.
It's the East Wenatchee, Washington show is what it is today, Kyler. Put a couple of kids from East Wenatchee on the air and throw a couple onto the racetrack, because we already had one feature winner. See if RT and the Root Beer Racing team can pick their way forward in a car owned by Vern Hewson, if I remember correctly.
And, they've been working on that car a lot over the years. I mean, I know RT and his dad, Bob, they've been putting in a lot of work into that car. They actually picked up the win at Wenatchee in this division, so RT already victorious in the Northwest Vintage Mod race once this year. As the green flag is out, he's going to have a lot of work to do to come through a tough field here on the 3/8 mile of Evergreen Speedways. That's Cottrell in the blue number 10, getting the early jump and going to take over the race lead up front.
Well, you and I have seen enough of this division that those guys in the 3rd and 4th row, they're tough. It is really hard to steal a win away from a Chath, a Woods, a Jones, or a Conwell, because they have so much experience and so much speed in this division. One way to do it, though, is to rabbit like you are early, and Cottrell's kind of doing that.
Exactly, yeah, and there's also usually not love lost between some of these drivers here. We've seen tempers get high and heated between or in this class a lot over the years, especially here at Evergreen Speedway. Sometimes at some other tracks across Northwest as well, but it seems Evergreen Speedway is where the tempers really start to flare here in the Northwest Vintage Modified Series. There you see the 22 of Steve Woods, who has a lot of feature wins here in the Northwest Vintage Mods, working his way forward up to 4th position now as he's trying to get through that heavier traffic earlier in the race here and catch up to Cottrell and not let him run away.
He's showing the path around for Conwell in the 82, and we'll see if Vince, who I believe is the series president, if I remember correctly, he's working to the outside, trying to pick his way up around Quatso as well. Smoke showing on Cottrell. Villiard sitting in 2nd. Meanwhile, for 3rd, that is Strumbull on the inside. Boy, Steve Woods looking really smooth here.
Yeah, there's some heavy smoke there, like you said, off the 10 of Cottrell, usually on quarter entry, so we'll see where that smoke is coming from. He's locking up a tire or where it's coming from. Not any smoke that time. See a lot of backfire coming out of the pipes, though. As Steve Woods missed the corner, he's going to go really high, allow the 57 come back to the inside. That same Trimble in the 57 car. So great battle there from 3rd on back, but really your entire field's all within nose to tail of each other.
If you're unfamiliar with the division, a lot of late model technology in these cars, just, vintage body style as they make a lot of speed. Now Conwell, like you said, right up on the back of Woods. Woods has got 3rd. He'll dive in, and there goes Vince. Boy, Vince, apex off. Really, really fast and smooth in the 82.
Yeah, he's able to run a little bit higher line and then dive back down the inside. Now his time went through 1 and 2. He's running the bottom. See, maybe he can get to the run to the inside of Woods as he works to the outside of Rick Villiard in the 12. But now he's going to go around Rick and get to the outside of Cottrell, going down the front straightaway. He wants the race lead. Steve Woods diving it down the inside. He will lead that lap in the 22. What a power move there as we're now 2 by 2 by 2 for the top 6 positions.
Hey, it was a buy one, get one free offer for Woods out in front of the field. It's 2 for 1 in that corner. Conwell, though, still a lot of speed as well. Got a little wide off that turn as you see the outside the box. Kyton Jones, the in-car on him, and how much speed these vintage mods make. They're flying around Evergreen Speedway here.
Yeah, coming up on 10 laps complete already for these guys. Just 20 more to go, a third of the way through the race as Kyton Jones trying to get through these front row starters. He's working, trying to get to the inside of the 10 of Cottrell. He's currently to the inside. I believe that is the 82 of Conwell, who also started pretty far back in the pack. So their drivers making their way through the field pretty quick. With that 22 of Steve Woods, it is scary to see him out front and driving away from you that quickly.
Kyton Jones started 7th. Conwell started 8th in the lineup here. It got tight going into turn number 1. Everybody drives away as Jones now officially has 3rd away from Conwell. Conwell's not giving up on that middle line. You see how good he still is from apex off. It's just the inside line. Both of those cars have gotten a hair faster and smoother, shuffling back to 4th.
Yeah, it looks like Kyton Jones got on the back bumper of Cottrell. They're entering 3 and 4 last time by. Maybe letting him know he wasn't too happy with that squeeze job that the 10 did into turn 1 and 2. But now Kyton Jones to the outside, going to go the long way around Cottrell. He looks like he'll have 2nd position at the line right there. A move 30 Kyton Jones up to 2nd place. He's going to try to put the hammer down, use up all of those big slick tires and get the power down and take over that 2nd spot completely.
And he will do so. So now in and around just before the halfway mark here, 14 and 16 to go as Kyton Jones gives chase to Steve Woods, and Steve Woods is trying to throw the keys on the counter and go home and check out.
Oh, yeah, definitely. That 22 is very strong. He's able to take over the race lead very early and get some clean air while they battle for second, third, fourth, fifth position. And now he has a nice, comfortable Saturday night drive ahead of him as long as the caution does not come out. I think he might be too far in front for Kyton Jones to catch on. But right here, great battle for third place. That is Vince Conwell on the 82. Started pretty far back in the pack, working on the outside of your pole sitter, Brian Cottrell. And they're side by side behind him as well. That's Cale Cheth working his way forward, getting to the outside of the 12 of Rick Villiard. As a little bit of contact possibly on corner entry there, but everyone's able to keep it straight and they keep on moving.
Conwell pulled it in and ran the low groove for a couple of laps, followed Cottrell around. Every time he steps out, that first lap from stepping out, he is right there, but he can't keep it as we've got one slowing around the middle groove. So Conwell will fade back once again, cannot make the outside work over the halfway point.
There you see Cale Cheth almost completing the pass on Rick Villiard there for about the 5th position. As the Northwest Vintage Modifieds are putting on a great show here in their 30-lap main event. You won't not want to miss the final third of their race right here on Seattle 11 Home Track Heroes.
We return to Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11 as you are looking at the Vintage Modified division. And your race leader, Steve Woods, in the 22 car, he has been absolutely on rails. Kyton Jones second, Brian Cottrell 10 car is third. I'm Caleb Hart. He's Skylar Hope in our program.
Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a problem. Brought to you by All Ply Roofing as the battle for the lead is on as Steve Woods way up and around the middle. All of a sudden, he's passed and Kyton Jones leads.
Yeah, we were talking about how he had such a great commanding lead, and looked like, I don't know if he just made a mistake going to 3 and 4 there. Maybe the throttle got stuck momentarily, was able to get it back going right. But yeah, it's definitely not the preferred line going way up around like that. As we have new race leader Kyton Jones in 30, Steve Woods second. And here's the battle for third. A lot of heavy pressure from Cale Cheth put on the back bumper of Brian Cottrell.
Cale Cheth looking to finish out the top 3 at the moment. That is Conwell back to his inside, making him fight for it. Nobody's been able to really get around Cottrell. Cottrell has been the barrier up there as Conwell finally diving to the inside. And he has got that spot, and at the same time, there goes Cheth for 4th.
Yeah, it looked like Cottrell coming off turn 3 last time by, just got really sideways trying to put the power down, and that allowed Conwell to get such a great run to the inside. As here is the battle for the race lead. Whatever issue Steve had on that last corner, he's able to get it figured out. As we just got a battle for third here. Cale Cheth going to the inside of Conwell, and looks like he's going to complete the pass down the back straightaway.
Give the spot to Cheth as he works his way into the third quarter, just 7 laps in here to go. We'll see if Conwell can get him back. He worked so hard to get up into third. A couple of laps later, right back to 4th. Oops.
Yep, as Kyton Jones still up front leading. There's Steve Woods right behind him. We got a car around. That's a 57 going around. That is Shane Triplestar on the inside of the second row. It's going to bring out a yellow with 6 laps to go. So that's certainly going to mix up what's going on at the front of the field. The top 2 had such a great lead, and here we are. Just final car in line there, getting a little heavy, and self-spin. No harm, no foul. Should be able to continue, though.
Yeah, so Strimple overcooks it in the corner, and that'll gather everybody back up. That's good news for Cale Cheth, who just made his way up into third. We'll see how this restart sequences out for him, but being that close back up towards the front of the field, all good things for Cheth, who now has Kyton Jones right in front of him. Steve Woods will be on the inside of Jones with 6 laps to go in the restart.
As green flag is back out, there you see a great jump from Kyton Jones on the inside. As teammates now side by side for second. You see Cale Cheth trying to work his way forward and take over the second spot. Looks like a little bit of contact back behind them as the 10 of Cottrell is going to go around. Your early race leader for most of the race, and caution going to come out for him as we'll get we'll rock him back up, try again, as it's not the way Cottrell pictured the night going.
No, not at all. As we'll watch him come through. You see some tires banging and just enough on the right front to get the car in and around and pointing the wrong way down the back straightaway.
Yeah, it looked like he might have got a little bit hot in on entry right there. Yep, drifted up into the side of Rick Villiard in the 12, and they just cannot get untangled. And fine on the backstretch, 10 goes around. Thankfully, most of the field has passed at that point. Is get another great slow-mo shot here. Is just spinning, keeps out the inside wall. Like I said, most of the field had gone by. No harm, no foul again. Hopefully, we'll be able to see Cottrell take the end of the field and get back out there. And for the final, I think 6 laps of rain now.
Yeah, doubled up once again up in the front of the field. So another opportunity for Woods up on the outside and for Cheth down on the inside following Jones around. So restack them, re-rack them, and ready to go with 6 laps left. Leader setting the pace through the corner, and Woods needs to be right there with him. To the white stripe we go and back underway.
Much better restart there from the 22 of Steve Woods on the outside. We'll see what he's able to do as their 2x2. Really tight 4-car battle here as these are the top 4 cars all night long. He's going to go on board with Cale Cheth in the 23, I believe, right here.
Yeah, that is the inside of the second row car. So Cheth trying to keep his spot. Woods trying to stay relevant in that outside groove, but it is Cheth with the preferred line around the inside of the speedway. And Cheth now a car length back of Kyton Jones. Opportunity knocking for Cale with 4 laps left here in the main.
Yeah, I think Cale had one of the fastest cars before the caution came out. Got a little bit loose trying to put the power down last time off of 3. Lost a little bit of ground on Kyton Jones, but still not letting him completely check out here. We'll see what he's able to do with coming up on 3 laps to go. His teammate right in behind him, Vince Conwell, rounding out the top 4. It's been, like I said, the top 4 cars all night long.
So down to just 3 laps to go. Cheth right there, back in, trying to step on him off of turn number 2, and unfortunately for him, every bit of ground lost makes it way less of a chance that he's going to make a big old bonsai move on that final lap.
Exactly, yeah. Kyton Jones has been really good, just keeping the car nice and steady and getting it through and keeping the wheels pointing in the right direction, not sliding out that rear end that much.
So coming into the white flag, 1 to go. Vintage Modified A main event here on Home Track Heroes. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. As there is the doctor's jacket signaling one more time around. Jones, Cheth, Woods, 1, 2, 3. Line them up like ducks in a row and off the 4th corner. Today belonged to Kyton Jones. Congratulations, Jones gets the W over Cheth. And Woods to the Angel of the Winds Casino Resort podium. We will talk to your top 3.
All right, Steve, up on the podium, late race restart. Tell me what goes through your mind when that caution comes out with 6 to go.
I didn't like it because I made a big mistake on the backstretch, putting my car in the dirt and allowed the 30 to get by me. And I was really working him. I thought I was going to be able to get him back. But after that restart on the outside, I just didn't have it.
Who do you want to thank for helping you get out here onto the podium?
My wife, my dad, my nephew. We spent a lot of time rebuilding these cars. They got wrecked up pretty good a few weeks ago. But First Aid Electric, AccuVac furnace and duct cleaning, Campanelli cranes, and I think that's about it.
All right, let's give it up. 3rd place tonight, Steve Woods. Cale, good run tonight. 2nd place, tough with the late race restart. Talk to me, what more do you think you needed to get to Kyton?
I don't know. The car was pretty garbage all day, and we made a bunch of changes before the main event, and it worked out. So I don't know what else I needed.
Tough run around that 3.8. Talk about how much fun is it running a course like that?
It's good. I have a lot of laps around here because we used to race street stocks and stuff out here, so it's a fun track.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out here to 2nd place?
My grandpa John, my uncle Steve, my family and friends, it all come out. All the fans, and then 7K Construction and Remodel, Campanelli Crane, AccuVac Furnace and Duct Cleaning, First Aid Electric, Classic Interiors. I think that's it.
All right, 2nd place tonight, Cale Cheth. All right, Kyton, you got to the lead, but then a late race restart. Tom and I have a similar question. What goes through your mind when you're getting to the lead and you're now the leader, and when the caution comes out, 6 to go?
When I knew when I was surrounded by Woods cars, I was kind of nervous because how they've raced me in the past, and they're not afraid to do anything. So I had my guard up, probably taking it a little too easy, but we made it here.
Yeah, tough race tonight. A lot going on there. The 4 of you, our 4th place finisher as well, really not much separating you. What goes in week out to preparing a car?
Oh, man, it's just a lot of work every night. I haven't raced. This is my first race all year. These guys got 3 races on them already, and it's a little hard to come out rusty, but made it work.
And who do you want to thank for helping you get out of here?
I got to thank my couple sponsors, Benchmark Barrels and Daryl Berg, built some back motors. And my dad back in the pits, my fiance Cassidy, my son for putting up with my attitude sometimes on race day. And that's it.
All right, let's give it up. Your race winner tonight, the 30, Kyton Jones.
Big congratulations to Kyton Jones, vintage modified feature winner here at Evergreen Speedway. All right, it is time. Let's move into the Chain Link Express Wash Outlaw Figure 8s. Gave them some additional laps here this afternoon as well. So we'll go 40 times around, 10 cars. Your lineup looks like this. Pole sitter in the Pill Jug Heating and Air Conditioning JE55. That is Jessica Wilkinson out of Marysville. Dakota Wilkinson going to go outside of her. Car number 9 out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Tony V's Garage. Row number 2, Bruce Beeler, the 13 out of Tacoma Black Thunder Transport. And to the outside, it is Ricky the Kid Dietz, the 676 out of Arlington, sponsored by Tire Pros, the shop of Arlington.
Starting in the 5th position, you got the 68 of Nick Holton out of Marysville, sponsored by MCA Creations. His outside, 35, another Wilkinson, Haley version out of Lake Stevens, sponsored by Cobalt Cycles. Next row, we see the 83G of Zach Larson, sponsored by Brundage Bone Concrete Pumping. His outside, that's a 767 of Jamie Corbett out of Arlington, sponsored by A1 Auto Service Center.
Final row, Chris Curtis out of Tulalip, Bulldog Haven Northwest on 74, and Ryan Clark, 51 car out of Granite Falls, sponsored by Action Machine. Clark has been the big feature winner here on the year. He leads the division in feature wins. Started dead last, though. He's got very tall task coming up in this guy.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to watch what Nick Holton's able to do, filling in the 68 car tonight. Normally in a 71 car, I believe, right? And so he's filling in a different car, so it'll be fun to watch him in the 68 work his way forward as we get ready for green flag action, 40 laps of Outlaw Figure 8 action.
Jumping out to a good start, Dakota Wilkinson. Wilkinson has proved to be very adept as a front runner, as we've got one around early. That is Jess Wilkinson's 55, and Chris Curtis going to nose into Jess coming off the apex of the corner. Let's take a look and see how it happened.
Yeah, it looked like Ricky Dietz right here got a little bit of contact in. Not sure if he missed the corner or she came down into him. Maybe a little bit of both there. So a racing deal, unfortunate for Jess in the 55, getting spun around there. On lap 1, it's a long race. It's usually how you want to happen, but it's racing. It does happen. Hopefully that contact right there on the right front was not too hard, and hopefully she'll be able to continue on right there.
Yeah, if you called that a racing deal, I think you'd be fairly accurate on that one. As unfortunate for Jess, she goes from the pole to last. Chris Curtis doesn't have to make up a whole lot of spots, though, as he will also start in that back row for the second time. And actually, you take a look at it, full field restart, Wilkinson back up front. So Wilkinson and Wilkinson show once again.
Yep, we'll see if we can get through the south corner this time. Looks like plenty of room given, as Dakota version is able to get out to a great race lead, followed by 676 of Ricky Dietz, that outside line, getting a good jump there. Around the South Pole, as we'll see what they're able to do here. Battle for second. Looks like, what, more Wilkinson action?
Yeah, that's right. Let's go Wilkinson on Wilkinson part 2. Haley driving around Jess, and she is in the 3rd spot. So 1, 2, 3, Dakota, Dietz, and Wilkinson, and that, I believe, is Beeler going around, complete with pieces of race car all out over everywhere, as the 68 of Nick Holton is together and yellow again.
Yeah, looks like they just got kind of jumbled up there, almost went 3 wide, rips actually the paneling off of the 51 of Ryan Clark, so it'll be interesting to watch him the rest of the night, as his entire left side paneling got ripped off right there, just turned into basically like a cheese grater and just ripped all off, possibly a bit of fuel pouring out as well, so I'm sure we'll see him go back to the back or to the pit area and try to get that repair done there. Looks like not a ton of damage there on the 13 or 68, but that 51, be interested to keep an eye on him. Like you mentioned, won a few races already this year, been pretty dominant in this class, so we see what he's able to get done back there in the pits and hopefully get back out here and not miss much action.
Definitely coming up on the midseason point, your leader in the clubhouse, maybe pick up a track title in the 58, 51. He's out there again, and we go Delaware style in behind your leader. To go to Wilkinson in the 9, puts us back under green flag conditions. Dietz second, and the race for third between Jess Wilkinson and, is that Corbett? I believe it is. And Corbett will have the spot.
It looks like Jess is just not able to handle quite right after that first lap contact. It looks like she's struggling a little bit with that. Not sure if it got towed in or towed out or what might have happened there on the JE55 machine. But long race, you got to survive it, and you'll be able to pick up some positions later on. Maybe just playing the long game here. Is up front, it is Dakota Wilkinson, Ricky Dietz, and Jamie Corbett, your top 3.
Dakota able to stretch out just a little bit, as we let you guys know, Chain Lake Express Car Wash for absolutely the best car wash ever. Treat your favorite ride to the professionals. Chain Lake Express Wash in Monroe. Chain Lake Express Wash has multiple wash packages designed to meet your budget and needs. Chain Lake Express Wash, the proud sponsor of the NASCAR Outlaw Figure 8 division.
as we see a great battle here for the final podium position. Chris Curtis in that beautiful number 74, trying to get to the inside of Corbett. Looks like Corbett's going to let him have position, decide just to fall back in line right early. No point in them battling that hard for the third spot, and let them lose gap to the second and first place. So it's very smart heads-up racing there from Jamie Corbett. Just let 74 go by, follow him through, and get that position back later. So only 5 laps into a 40-lap race. Plenty of time there. As on the left side of your screen, you see the 68. That is Nick Holton filling in. Like we said earlier, he was battling hard with the 83G of Larson. As Larson got some front-end damage too. Looks like a splitter he's got there is dragging along the ground. Usually you don't want that all the way on the ground. You want it as close to the ground as you can, but obviously some damage from one of the earlier instances we had at the beginning of the Outlaw Figure 8 race.
So Jamie Corbett from his on top of the roll cage, I guess the best way, and that shows you how tall Jamie is. He is a large human being, as he is right up towards the top of that roll cage area. Zach Larson in the 83 trying to find his way around. Larson running position number 5, trying to run down Corbett right now, as he's a long ways out. This field very much stretched out at the moment. We'll see who can build some speed as we get ready to head to commercial break. We will finish off the Outlaw Figure 8 A main event when we come back, as you are watching Home Track Heroes here on Seattle 11. Well, that is Dakota Wilkinson, who continues to lead this field here in the Outlaw Figure 8 division here at Evergreen Speedway. Home Track Heroes continues on. I am Caleb Hart. He is Kyler Hope. 40 lapper tonight for the A main. Kyler 10 in, 30 to go. And if they keep going like this, Dakota Wilkinson might be in a completely different area code by the time, I don't know, we're at the halfway point of this. He is looking uncatchable.
Yeah, and we saw in the Superstock Figure 8, Dawson Cox, he lapped the entire field. Could Dakota Wilkinson do that also in this race? I mean, you never know, but we'll see what he's able to do here. Great battle here for the second position between Chris Curtis and Ricky Dietz. A couple of the legends here of the Outlaw Figure 8 division, as they're putting on a great battle here for second. Not much intersection action at the moment for these guys, so they're able just to focus on the battle with each other. As the 74 car, he was able to pass Corbett for fourth not too long ago, or to move himself into third, and now he's working hard on the back bumper of Ricky Dietz. I think that 74 car might be the fastest car out there on track, as you see our race leader split some action there in the intersection.
Yeah, to that extent, that battle for second and third right now, Zach Larson is making some ground on them as well, so keep your eyes peeled. Our program brought to you by All Ply Roofing. This is the race for second, as Chris Curtis, look out, over pushed it, got into the back of Dietz, and unfortunately lost the spot. So Larson now third, and in the process of chasing down Ricky out in front.
Yeah, we'll see what that orange 83G can do. We'll see if he gets into the picture here. Yep, right there on the back bumper. Still has that splitter air intake right there, dragging on the ground. So a little bit of damage there, not really affecting the car too much. Mainly just might be a nuisance to Zach if he's hearing that bounce and scrape on the concrete. But really doing a great job here, working his way forward after some early contact in the race.
So we'll see if Larson can put the moves on Ricky. Dietz has switched over. He's playing a little defense now, with Larson right on his tail and closing in on the halfway mark of this A main event. Let you guys know All Ply Roofing is your roof keeping up with all the weather, washing dishes out. Call All Ply Roofing for a free estimate at allplyroofing.com. Your residential and commercial roofing team, All Ply Roofing.
Yeah, huge shout out to them for being on board. As a great battle here still for second place. Ricky Dietz doing everything he can to hold off Zach Larson. And is Zach Curtis already almost back in the picture again after doing a 360, as he is working his way back forward, as these two are battling very hard, which is exactly what Dakota Wilkinson wants. He is up front with a nice, comfortable lead for now, as comfortable as you can be on the most dangerous intersection on the planet, as Ricky Dietz doing a phenomenal job here. Still holding on to that second spot as we approach halfway. 21 laps to go, 19 complete. A big bump there from Larson. As with these cars, it's really hard because you want to put a lot of pressure. You want to bump the guy in front of you, but also with the amount of power these guys get down, you can almost boost them and get them straight in the right direction, let them get the power down even quicker. And like we saw with Chris Curtis, he ended up upsetting himself when he got on the back bumper too much. So it's a really tough balance with these cars. Shows how hard they are to really drive.
Also shows the effect of the new tire, and we've talked about that before as they're rolling through, and I think throwing Beeler down another lap. But switching off the 970 to the slicks. So not only is it easier to get your power down, but now you've got some more tire to which if you do get out of control, loose, sideways, etc., you can throttle up and get back under control a lot better because the tire's a lot more forgiving.
Yeah, and the driver's all on the left side of your screen right there with Dietz, the 83G of Larson as well as Curtis. They all ran on these tires a few years ago when we used to have on the slicks. Your race leader, Dakota Wilkinson, did not run on this tire before these cars, so he probably had the biggest learning curve, but I mean, he's up front chucking away with this thing.
Yeah.
He looks like he was the veteran who ran a lot of races on these cars before.
And one of the things that we've heard is that Dietz actually has more motor than anybody in the division. The horsepower numbers that this team talks about, both in terms of horsepower itself, torque, and what the dyno shows, is that Ricky has got a lot of engine, and yet Dakota is opening that lead up over halfway here.
Yeah, I mean, and Ricky's not able to get any breathing room from the 83G of Larson, as he is all over his back bumper still. Same with Chris Curtis. So I think Ricky's been having some pressure to put him on all night. So not sure if he maybe got a little bit of contact in one of those early instances that maybe just upset the handling a little bit. As you see, about a half-track lead for your race leader, Dakota Wilkinson. He shoots from the intersection there, but still on this great battle here, riding on board with Ricky Dietz in the 676 as he continues to have a lot of pressure there.
Yeah, we'll give the man some props as well. Maybe without his best race car, but doing a fantastic job of making it handle it to the point where he's been able to keep the very fast Zach Larson and Chris Curtis in and behind him for the past 15 laps with, I don't want to say ease, but they haven't gotten next to him once.
Exactly, yeah, and it's really hard to complete a pass here because you're able to get to the inside of the driver on one corner. The next corner, you're on the outside, and you're at risk of getting past yourself. So it is a delicate art, and these drivers really have to put everything they can into every corner, every lap. Is coming on some lap traffic there. That's Jamie Corbett going a lap down as Larson put a lot of pressure there into the corner, but again, just lost all that on exit as Ricky Dietz able to put all that power down on that 767 or 676, able to get moving back forward, but still Larson and Curtis still right there on the back bumper.
To the point where Larson's starting to use the chrome horn a little bit and move Ricky around, let him know he is there. There it is. There's the love tap. And oh, that time Dietz sailed it wide. Can he recover? Yes, he can, just barely. As Larson had the right tap at the right time, Ricky sailed it just a little past corner entry, but Larson still couldn't make his way through. 3/4 of this race done. Zach Larson, the orange and black 83, all over the red, white, and black Tire Pro sponsored 676 of Ricky Dietz, and the red, white, and blue 74 of Chris Curtis, just biding his time, waiting for something to break loose.
Yeah, if Dakota Wilkinson wasn't in this race, it'd be a phenomenal battle right here. I said that earlier in the midgets when the leader just checks out. Second, third, and fourth put on a phenomenal show behind them. As I think when they all got hooked up together a few laps ago, Chris Curtis then got on the back of Larson, which didn't allow Larson to be able to turn underneath Dietz, so that kind of messed up the 83's plan there of attack. As checking back in with Dakota Wilkinson, it's kind of nice when you're the race leader and you're not showing all race. That means you're doing everything right, you're staying out of trouble, you're keeping your nose clean, and Dakota Wilkinson looks like he's on his way to a phenomenal night here in the 40-lap feature for the Chain Link Express Wash Outlaw Figure race.
Yeah, to the point where he can see his nearest competitors going through the intersection ahead of him. So Wilkinson has to know, okay, he is in really good shape here. Just take it easy, try to maintain pace where you can, and don't put yourself in a situation where the intersection gets dangerous for you. As we talked about chain racing earlier, it's almost what we're seeing between these three, just ducks in a row, lined up, bing, bang, boom.
Exactly, yeah, I mean, there's less gap there than there is Winyard chain racing with other cars, so these guys have been nose to tail for a lot of laps here, and it's usually whenever the 83 gets to the back bumper, the 676 and the 74 comes in and gets his back bumper, and they're bouncing all off. I mean, they're all their front bumpers and rear bumpers are going to be different colors from all the different cars they've been hitting all the race long. It's been a phenomenal race here for second, third, and fourth the entire race.
Yeah, almost couldn't get closer at times as they are just stacked up on each other. Wilkinson in the 9, taking a look at them once again as he just makes clean laps through the intersection around both the north and south poles. From here, second and third has gotten more physical. You can definitely see Larson not afraid to front bumper up on Ricky Dietz, but Ricky Dietz has been hit by every kind of race car in every place around this figure eight. Nothing's going to rattle him at this point. The KG veteran knows, all right, the thump is coming. I'm ready for it and ready to drive away from it.
Yeah, definitely that comes with experience. I mean, you get in a lot of these big figure eight races, a lot of really good competitors. You're going to learn how to take a bump and learn how to take these big hits from behind and able to continue to drive your car straight and continue pointing the right direction. As the white flag is out, still a great battle here. Second, third, and fourth are all no tail going in the south corner. Dakota Wung is going to cruise to the win here in the 40-lap feature for the Outlaw Figure Eights. As second, third, and fourth coming around, we'll see who gets it here. Looks like Ricky Dietz is going to hang on after a very hard-fought race for second place, and Zach Larson going to be the final spot on the podium, as we'll send it down to, I'm sure, a very excited Derek Todoroff for the podium.
You were in a tough spot there, stuck between a rock and a hard place running third, second and fourth at either bumper. You made it look easy keeping your composure out there. How did you do it?
You just got to be patient with it, and you don't want to necessarily just wreck somebody forward. So you just let them know you're there and just try to get them to squirm up. And Rick's been doing this for a long time, so it's hard to do it to him.
Now here in that 83G, first time it's made it up here to the podium. Not first time for you, but how's it feel to get that orange 83 out here?
I really needed it. I needed a good race in this car. It's been a rough start to the season, so this was really nice to get it up here.
And who would you like to thank for this third place finish?
First, I want to say Happy Father's Day to everybody, including mine, and I got to thank Brunchbone Concrete Pumping and S&S Rentals for everything they do to help me get here.
Driver of the 83G, Zach Larson, third place tonight. Second place tonight, but you had to fight for it. You had two cars all over you all race long. How'd you hold on to that car that's already fairly loose?
Well, I like a loose car, and I spent most of my life driving the car sideways. And I figured, I knew they were faster than me. And when Zach was in right behind me, I knew Zach wouldn't turn me around. He'd rough me up and let me know, and let me know that if I messed up, he was going to take me. I got the utmost respect for that guy. You know, he races me clean. He helps me. He's a good shoe, and he didn't hit me too hard. He got me good a couple times. I think Chris got me a little bit harder, but I think that backfired on me. He dumped himself.
You hang in it. You two battling, race in, race out, lap in, lap out. I mean, the simple question is, do you lose sight of the intersection at all during those, or are you still just eyes wide, making sure you're safe?
Always wide. You know, peripheral vision is what you got to have. You kind of take a glance just before you get off the turn, but you always want to be looking each way because things can change. You know, you think you got a hole, and a couple cars get messed up, and that hole closes real quick. And if you're not paying attention, you could end up being the red flag.
And who would you like to thank for your performance tonight?
Well, especially for this week, I need to thank Augie, my spotters, kept me bottom feeding and protecting the bottom, and setting my car up this week, and my crew. Paul Peterson worked his butt off, my brother. I got Tire Pros of Arlington, the shop, Past Eddie's, Joe's Racing Products, and I got a big family out here. We all race together. It's so much fun. It makes Thanksgiving dinner kind of fun sometimes, but I love it, and I think I got a kick family that knows how to race figure eight cars pretty well.
Driver of the 676, second place tonight, Ricky Dietz. First driver to pick up 2 wins this season in the Outlaw Figure Eights. You feeling pretty confident about your chances this year?
Well, we're finding out here, and the rest of the races are going to determine everything.
You took off right off the bat. Lap number 1, caution comes out. You do it again. How do you replicate that despite that long red flag in between the 2 restarts?
It's all about mind games. That start is everything, whether you want to go slow or fast, and you just got to guess at what will confuse them the most.
Hey, it paid off. You got your reward here. Who would you like to thank for it?
I'd like to thank Tony V's Garage, Pilchuck Heating, Pacific Northwest Forerunner Connection, A. Wesco, Septic, Waltz Wood Company, Reppin Welding and Rail, PNC Landsmiths, Rift, DTMX Racing, and my mom and dad.
Driver the number 9, Dakota Wilkinson, your Outlaw Figure 8 winner.
Kyler, it was an awesome show today. We got all 3 of the Figure 8 divisions in. That should remind us as we look ahead on the calendar, Figure 8 Nationals is less than a month away. That is coming up Saturday, July 12th. We'll have all the Figure 8 divisions again on the card for lots of big money. Before that, though, the next time you can come to Evergreen Speedway, America's Birthday Bash. It's the biggest national party where we celebrate the birth of the USA. Demo Derby with the big cars, Hornets, Sticker 8s, bus racing, youth Hornets, Mr. Dizzy with a stunt, and fireworks. That's coming up July 4th, Friday. Be here at the track. Next week on the show, though.
Yeah, we had a great show. We had a 50-lap street stock race, which is always my favorite division. Going to want to tune into that, along with some mini stocks and a few other classes. Thank you for tuning in tonight, though. We will see you here at Evergreen Speedway soon.
That's right. For Derek and Griff, the Hobbs family, he's Kyler Hope. I'm Caleb Hart. Good night, everybody. See you next Sunday on Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11.
Thanks for watching Evergreen Speedway's Home Track Heroes on Seattle 11. Join us next week for more great racing from Evergreen Speedway.